travel trades, stocks on Sunday, coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel today, wherever you are tuning in from around the world on a special Easter Sunday to you. God's richest blessing to you and all your families wherever you are. I'm recording this on a Saturday, so no, I'm not sitting here doing this on Easter Sunday. I'm enjoying time with my family here in beautiful, sunny East Coast of America. And of course, I do want to make sure that I get this out as usual before the markets open on Monday. Some of you may be watching this on Sunday. Some of you may catch this on Monday before the market open. But whenever you watch it, you're going to have time to absorb this information, make some trades, get in on some trade setups and see what happens in the markets overnight. Of course, as the pre-market trading, overnight trading future trading will open in a few hours. And then, of course, we have the pre-market trading, which opens Monday morning at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We can get in some early buys. Now, of course, the title of the show today is, drumroll, based upon this thought here that I like from TrendSpider. Is this a quick reset or the start of another style grind lower, another grind lower? So is this a quick reset like 2018 and 2020, or the start of another 2022 style grind lower? What do you think? Because we do have a monthly MACD cross to the downside. When that's happened before, 2018, 2020, 2024, and now 2025. Of course, in 2018 and 22, we had a quick recovery. And remember, make sure you smash the like button if you haven't done so already. And of course, that does help get the channel out to more people, does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments that you make. Thank you for those that take the time to write it. I take the time to read it and respond. So let's jump into the SPY here and have a look. And one of the things I have noticed with the SPY is the stochastic RSI in the weekly time frame is in the oversold territory. Let's have a look and how often that's happened and when that's happened, and has it been a good time to buy? So we look back to the previous time that this happened, and yes, it was a good time to buy. The stochastic went below, and once we broke through and then broke through the 20% on the stochastic RSI there, it was down at 576 and it went up to 611. There wasn't a clear sell signal there, and this one makes me believe this was interrupted. It was interrupted by, I would say this is a bit of a black swan event, and it's like almost like you're driving on the road and a roadblock, tariffs have been put in your way and there's been a stop. What's going to happen as soon as that roadblock is removed, the journey will continue. I believe that's going to be the case in the stock market. I heard that analogy somewhere and I thought that's a really, really good analogy. It's not like all of a sudden something broke, something, came in the form of a tariffs that caused this, a roadblock. And once that's removed, I think the market's going to pump. Okay, so that's my thoughts on that. So it could be a grind lower because the tariffs may cause that if they drag out. If we have a faster resolution, there'll be a faster recovery. We know what happened when we got that pause on the other countries. Now it's just China. We got this V-shaped recovery here. And sure, we've eaten back some of that because the China situation is still not resolved. All right, let's look at some of these other times. First here, that would have been another great buy. And generally you buy on the break back up as the blue line goes above the red line and crosses the 20%. And that would have given some really nice upside all the way up here. So that would have been good. And selling actually would have been good too. It can be a good sell signal when you see the blue line cross below the red and cross below this, 80% line that is marked out there. So 20% and 80%. Okay. So we come back here again. And again, this would have been quite a good buy. And that would have led us up to, so this has actually served as a pretty good buy and sell signal. Buy and sell signal. Buy, but we didn't get our sell signal. So that's a little bit tough there because I do feel this is a bit of a black swan event there. So again, there's our buy signal here as the blue crosses the red and crosses back over the 20% line. Now, where's our sell signal? Well, our sell signal doesn't actually come until the blue line has both crossed below the red and crossed below the 80%. Boom, there's our sell signal. If you sold here, then you sold too early because even though the blue is crossed below the red, it didn't cross below the 80% line. So there was our sell signal there. Okay, let's go on a little bit further back. And again, you can see that we have another buy signal here. And then we have yet another sell signal. And of course, we wouldn't sell until technically you could here because it breaches. And that's pretty close. Like if you sold at 450 and then it goes to 458. Oh no, you missed out on 8 points. So therefore, but the real sell signal is here. That's probably where you would have gone. But I probably would have sold here. Has it breached? It has for me. Again, you get this buy signal here. And again, you don't get the sell signal from there. We already covered that one. Let's go back further there. Again, you do get that buy signal here. And you get the sell signal here. But you do get that second peak. So again, you did miss out on a little bit there, but not much. Honestly, it's not a perfect system, by the way. It's not a perfect system. But these have generally been where I've bought and where I've sold. And when you talk about, look, there's some other factors that I look into, of course. Obviously it's near the 200-week moving average, which historically has always been a good time to buy. We won't keep going back. I think you get the picture there again, where you buy, where you sell, where you buy. And it just means less buys, and you can go in a little bit heavier with more money on those plays. If we come all the way back here, so the time then to get your buys in would be once this blue line has crossed over the 20, which it hasn't quite done yet. Oh, it's so close. That would be the moment of confirmation. That's generally been pretty good. Obviously, we had a bit of a fake out there. So that's generally been pretty good. I'm surprised that we haven't come down, at least touch the 200-week moving average. Now, I did buy some additional, obviously, on the SPY. I got in and got some down here around 481 there, right at that Fibonacci. And then I bought some additional one here at the 100 EMA on the weekly right here just recently as it came down and tagged that. And you can see that we're not going to go much into the cheat because not much has changed. All the lows that I bought have been the same. They've stayed the same. We haven't gone below these yellow lows here. So all these lows are rock solid, confirmed bottom buys at the moment. Now, some of them I didn't quite get the bottom because remember, those who try and pick bottoms get smelly fingers. And so I got close enough and good enough. Now, we might go below these levels, and I would certainly be jumping in below any of these levels. So I'm not going to recap on those. There hasn't been enough movement for me. We left these lows, we went up, and now we've come back, but we haven't gone below any of these prices here. I don't believe haven't gone below any of those prices there. So let's go back to the SPY there. And so what am I looking at? I would add some more SPY down around probably at 500, maybe 510. You can see there's a Fibonacci from a previous range there, a previous swing low. I would probably pick up a little bit. I would just probably buy around these areas between 480 and where we are now. And then if we were to dip further down to 467 with a 200-week moving average, I would be scooping up some more. And of course, if we drop to these levels, I would add some there as well. That's what dollar cost average buying does. Now, look, I would be surprised if we got down here. That would be fairly severe in my opinion. Historically, that's not usually the case. Usually we find a bottom on the SPY somewhere around there at around 467. So that would be, could we get down here with a wick? Sure. This would be, quite a surprise, maybe a nice surprise. Depends under what kind of circumstance we get that kind of a drop. But I'm not sure when the last time we've seen that low of a drop. We came pretty low there down in 2022. So something like that would be more something that I feel would be on the cards. We just really haven't come back to those levels. Even if we try and go back to COVID levels here. And even with COVID, you know, that's what we saw. So we could see something like that on a black swan event, but generally, again, it doesn't stay down there below very long, 1, 2, 3 weeks, and it was back up again. And it just presented itself to be a wonderful buying opportunity. And look here, you even get the stochastic RSI crossing over on the blue and then breaching through. You could have even have bought it here if you didn't have bought it here. So, you know, it just goes to show you the stochastic RSI oversold on the weekly when the blue crosses the red and then the blue crosses into and above the 20 zone has historically been a fantastic time to buy the SPY. Okay, let's jump into Apple and have a bit of a look here. I did pick up some more down on the drop to 194. I'd originally picked up, so I would again pick up some down around the 200-week moving average, and then even if we got lower, that would be even nicer. Pick up some down here at around 167. We have Amazon here again. Picked up some more Amazon here. Looking to pick up some more Amazon here at 168, 169 around that level, and then down 159. We've got the 200-week moving average. So I'm surprised we haven't come lower there with Amazon to come down and get that 152 level at the 200-week moving average there. Okay, we've got Coinbase here. That's more of a speculative play based on I don't think the bull market is over. So, you know, ads there on the 140, we saw that there, but if we come back down to about 165, I would look to, I may not add any more at these levels, maybe if we go below. Typically, when the stock market goes a bit bearish, coins like Coinbase actually do go deeper below the 200-week moving average. So I'm a little bit more concerned with that. I've got a good round of buys there. Maybe I'd wait for 116 or one. I don't even have a problem buying some here at 125 with that. Google just feels so undervalued. I picked up some more at 151. Again, I'm very surprised with all the litigation issues that they've had, etc., that they haven't come back and tested this 137 line. I'm not going to be surprised if it comes down there, and I'm not saying that it will either. I'm just saying I'm ready to buy if it comes down lower. I bought some at 151, and I would buy some more down here at this 136 level that we see. Hood was one that I added. Oh my gosh, I got a glorious entry there around $31. I think I added some more at 33 there, and this is rejected off the 50-day moving average there. And of course, now it's below the 20 EMA on the daily. So I would be looking, possibly adding some more at 38 or 35. I would add a little bit more. I'm a little bit underexposed there. It's a new one that I've added, so I don't have as much. So I would probably just adding a touch more at those levels. Of course, you know, with Hood, you know, this would be the big one down here at $27. If we get down there, that would be a real bargain to get that one in there, as you can see in that zone there. We have Meta. Meta, I haven't looked that aggressive with. I did call it down to 480. It got down to 480, but we could see this move more to the downside. We could see 390 and 345 levels. Would not be out of the ordinary. Meta has kind of gone down to that 200-week moving average during these kind of corrections. I'm surprised it hasn't dropped heavier. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll get to 413, but maybe if it's more of a slow grind down, these EMAs and moving averages might move up a little bit more. I do think that if we came down here, we could create a bit of a double bottom scenario as well at 413. I do think it's good value, though, at $480. However, you may have already picked up at 480. I find it tough with Meta because I bought it at $70, $80 or whatever and wrote it up to $700. I'm honestly looking for a bit of a deeper discount on Meta. MicroStrategy has performed exceptionally well. I'm a little bit surprised with that. We do have a nice W bottom there where we do have a higher low there. We don't quite yet have a higher high break above this level here on MicroStrategy, about 343, and you know, that would be a lot more bullish there. That's got a little bit more of a way to go. It's above the 50-day moving average there, and it's also above the 20 EMA on the daily. Really not going to excite me. I did buy some MicroStrategy at 260. I'm more looking around this 260 to 200 area where I would think about accumulating any more MicroStrategy. A lot of bearishness on Nvidia. I did sell some, but then I did start nibbling. I instantly felt regret over selling my position up around here, and I bought some of it back at 100 there at the Fibonacci. We'll see what the open brings. I wouldn't be adding any more to it here. I would add to it down at this 95 and 90 level here for Nvidia as a second round of buying. But I did buy back lower than what I sold it at, so I didn't buy back the full position either. Just want to be fully transparent about that. Palantir has been absolutely incredible. I was fortunate enough to get it down here. I was fortunate enough to get it around $30-something. I first shared about it on this channel around $38, $37, $33 or whenever it was there. It took off like a rocket ship. What a great mover it has been. And I was able to add to it back here. I have added, there was a bit of a pullback, and I was able to add on this candle. I do feel that's bullish at the 50-day moving average. You wake up on Monday morning and you see the price either below or above there, but I'm satisfied with my position here. I won't be adding any further to it here. I had some buys here. I had some buys here. If it goes lower, I'll add to it. But it's been probably one of the more bullish charts here in the space. And we're still a fair ways down. I mean, what was the top there was about 120, $25 or so. And so, I mean, that got a good discount there. I mean, gosh, that was such a good dip to buy. Very satisfying there. And we'll see what happens on Monday, whether we get another gift, whether it goes lower. Maybe the bottom is in there. Like I said, are we going to get a situation when we have a quick reset, or we're going to get a grind lower? I want to know your thoughts. Quick reset or grind lower? I want to hear what you think is going to happen there with the charts there. Tesla, beautiful. I got these buys down here beautifully. I mean, look at 200-week moving average. Again, Tesla is one that tends to go below the 200-week moving average, and it has again. Apple's and some of the other ones are ones that come to it and stop or come close to it. Tesla just seems to be more volatile and seems to give us these candles more to the downside. I'm surprised we didn't come down to $203. Actually, they got earnings coming up, and we could see some downside if they don't meet earnings. I'm prepared with some buys down around that 216 and 203 level. I think the future, there's going to be robo-taxis. There are robots as well. AI, I'm very bullish on Tesla. I think they've done a fantastic job with their cars as well. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. And as always, thank you for tuning in. And until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, remember, we have the Tribal Trades Discord, one Discord to rule them all. The link is below in the description. You can click the More button. The description will pop out. You may need to do that. There's the link there. I'd love to see you in the Discord there. We've had some incredible setups. I have a stocks channel in there where I share stocks plays. Monday through Friday, those plays have been doing absolutely fantastic in the Discord. We have a stocks channel where people can chat, stocks plays section. And so we'd love to see you there in the Discord. I'm also on the Stocks with Josh Discord. I have my own Crown Traders channel in there. I focus mostly on crypto in there, and I share some of my trade setups and some education and resources, some insights, some entertainment, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? This Sunday, you should be entertained. Resurrection Sunday. I'm hoping that you get some resurrection in the markets and your portfolios are resurrected as well as your life. All right. So great to have you here. Join me on this Easter Sunday or on Monday if you're watching it on Monday. Happy trading.